What else can I say about an event that me and 13,000 other people are taking part in this weekend? It's the biggest triathlon in the world and it's happening in the best city. Yep, it's the London Triathlon. It all starts with a swim in the Royal Victoria Dock before taking on a course that leads out onto the streets of London, and then the finish line is in the Excel Centre just there behind me. You know what? I think I might even have a go myself. It is a gorgeous day here in London. Annie Emerson, you know a thing or two about triathlons, don't you?
Well, I've done one or two in the past, but it was a long time ago. No, this is a fantastic event and the location is just amazing. And really, there is no other triathlon in the world that I've ever been to that has the transition set up that London does. Triathlons
seem to be becoming very trendy, don't they? Everyone's like wanting to get in the triathlon gang.
Well, they do. I mean, it used to be marathons. People are still doing marathons, but it's triathlon now. You know, people that would never have done sport in their life, they come along and they see triathlon and there's just something addictive about it. Yeah. And it draws people in.
I know. I'm being drawn in. I'm going.
You're going to do one then, aren't you?
I'm doing the soft launch though. I'm only doing I'm doing the run part because I can do running. But maybe next year, if I enjoy it, maybe next year I'll do all three.
We're going to hold you to that.
Yeah. Right. Now, elites-wise, who should we be looking out for?
Well, elite field, the men's is really strong. Mark Buckingham is in great form. The Bishop brothers as well, Tom and David. And Yestin Harrott, who we saw have that brilliant third. He's in Windsor. He's a new up-and-coming athlete, and I really think he's one to watch for in the future.
Okay, all right. There's good tips there. We'll definitely look out for them. There's going to be lots happening this weekend, so let's go over to our commentator, Patrick Winterton, to see what's coming up.
Over the 2 days of racing, London Triathlon has a swim, a bike, a run for everyone, from absolute beginner to serious club athlete. Team relays, we've got corporate team building days, we've got elite performers, and of course the fundraisers for the two gold charities, Scope and Macmillan, and all the charities raising in excess of £2 million annually. Well, the distances on offer range from the super sprint distance to the 26-kilometre sprint and the over 50 kilometres of swim, bike and run for the Olympic distance event. Whichever distance you've chosen, it all begins with a swim in the Royal Victoria Dock. Now, with so many competitors, there's no choice but to send everyone off in waves, wave after wave. And when that's complete, it's time to transition to the bike stage. And the transition takes place inside the XL Centre, pretty much one of the only indoor transitions in the sport, and certainly the biggest. Once onto the bike, the sights of London lie in wait as you get down to business on two wheels, passing Canary Wharf and on to Westminster. After returning to the XL, it's time to head out on the final stage, the run, and be cheered all the way through to the finish. 5 kilometres of running for the sprint distance, 10,000 metres for the Olympic. Well, this year's event is the third and penultimate race in the British Triathlon Super Series, the premier elite triathlon competition in Britain. Racing over the Olympic distance, the professionals have vital Super Series points to race for and a valuable prize purse, and of course the prestige of winning the world's biggest triathlon.
Serious stuff, but this is not just an event for the elite athletes. Oh no, there are plenty of ways that you can experience the triathlon. I'm even getting involved myself in the relay part of it, but I have heard the competition's quite stiff. I have no intention of bringing up the rear. Oh no. Come on!
Most of the celebrities taking on the sprint distance relay, which involves a 750-metre swim, a 20k bike and a 5-kilometre run, half the distance of the Olympic, but plenty for a lot of the athletes here. And as Jenny says, the competition is going to be very, very tough when you've got team captains like Rob Hales, the cyclist, Mark Foster, the sprint swimmer, and of course Jenny, who's no mean runner. But I think Rob Hales, who's teamed up with James Franco and Andrew Barton, who'll be doing the run, are the hot favourites for this event.
The team today that you've got, tell me who they are.
Well, I've got two guys with me who I've seen them in there this morning. First time we've met. The swim, I think the guy, he is a good swimmer, and the runner is really strong. He was going on about times that he's been doing in training, and they're both looking at me saying, we're really looking forward to seeing what you can do on the bike. So no pressure, Rob, but I'm going to have to pull this one out the bag, I think. I've not even shaved my legs for this. It's the first time I've competed on a bike with hairy legs, fairly mammoth-like.
I think that's absolutely disgraceful.
I hope you do really well.
Don't believe a word of that. I hope you do really well too.
Thank you.
We'll see. Jenny Faulkner has teamed up with Paula Reynolds and Jade Breed, who'll be doing the swimming.
This is my team, Paula and Jade, and we are up against some serious athletes today, aren't we?
We are indeed, yes.
Yeah. It's going to be good though.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be good.
Thank you very much for being part of my team. Jade, you obviously, we're here for charity today, and you got involved because of that.
Yeah, no, when I was 14, I had a road traffic accident and had part of my brain removed as a result of that. Went to the Children's Trust rehab centre in Tadworth in Surrey, and I went undergo loads of rehab therapy, and they got me standing on my own 2 feet.
I've spoken to Rob, who, okay, I know he's cycled a little bit before and he might have a few like records here and there. However, he says he hasn't shaved his legs. So we've got that on his side. He will slow down because he's got really, really hairy legs.
Good. That's a drag. That's good. That's what we like to hear.
Matthew Gambles and Matt Lambourne will be teaming up with Mark Foster, who'll be doing the run rather than the swim.
I do like that about London Triathlon. 13,000 people are taking part in something, and they're not all professionals. I love that.
No, and you can do it in all shapes and sizes. I think the beauty of triathlon is if you're not good at anything, it's about being a jack of all trades sort of thing with triathlon, even at the elite level. The beauty of what we're doing today with the team event also is that if you've got someone, because there'll be a lot of people out there that can't swim, but you can still be part of a triathlon team because you can do the run, you can do the cycle. And these things, these wetsuits, they help you in the water. They keep you buoyant. So for anyone that can't swim, actually, one of these when you can, because you can't sink with these things on. It's like being on a boat in a sense, but it all starts somewhere, and for a lot of these people it starts here today. For me and you, it starts here today.
The tension is building in the transition.
Here we go, looking good. It's going to be fun. How are you feeling?
Nervous?
What's your strategy?
Just don't panic.
Well, that's a very sensible tactic indeed. Jenny picking up some tips on her particular leg, the run, as Jade heads down to the water for her 750-metre swim. One of the great sights of triathlon when the waves get underway. Rob Hales just topping up, but despite the fact that Mark Foster hasn't done the swim for his team, they're still in the lead. And Matthew Gamble's now heading out on the bike. Now he's pretty handy, he's got some nice kit, but will he be able to hold off Rob Hales, who's about 5 metres behind him at the start? I think it is unlikely. Away goes the multiple Olympic medalist, and figure skater Matt Evers is ready to go because his swimmer coming into transition.
The buzz when I came in the Excel Center today was absolutely incredible. Everybody's here for different reasons, everybody's here for different causes, but at the same time too, everybody's here to raise awareness and just have a great time.
Matthew Gamble's digging deep. He has the lead, but not for long. Rob Hales showing that he's still got it.
Okay, so the boys have all gone. We're waiting for Jade now. When Jade comes back, Paula's on.
Woo! Loving it! The adrenaline rush is unbelievable.
Here comes Jade, the swim complete. And Jenny's team can start the second leg. Quick change of the transponder.
It's ran all the way in as well.
Yeah, we've got a win.
Was the water cold? Was it hot?
It was warm, it was lovely.
Matt Gamble still pushing. Rob Hales now some distance up front, giving his runner a really good advantage. And he is as competitive as ever. Great to see.
I went hard, I don't know if I was quick, but that initial changeover here, the transition, is one of the biggest buzzes I've ever had on the bike. That was brilliant.
Matt Gamble's only a few minutes behind. He's done really well. Now Mark Foster sets off on the run.
I think we both went out too quick.
Well, you came back quite quickly, so it seemed to have worked out and paid off.
Struggled about halfway and kind of lost Rob at that bit a bit, and I kind of recovered and went again. But it's just so much fun trying to chase someone of his caliber. It's just great fun.
That was one of the most incredible experiences I think I've ever had. First off, when you shot out of the gate, the adrenaline kicks in and you get the tingles and the getting on the course. Quite emotional. People that stand on the sidelines cheer you on, and I've never experienced that before. Obviously with Dancing on Ice and performance you get that, but this is different. The motivation I think behind people watching, you know, everybody's here for a cause.
Andrew Barton giving it everything for Rob's team. And Paula pushing hard on the bike. And at the same time, the rest of their teammates just living it up. Well, Mark Foster can swim faster than this. And as he heads for the finish, former Liberty X singer Michelle Heaton preparing for her run.
This is my third year doing the London Triathlon. I'm really, really excited to be running on behalf of Million Cancer Support. It's a charity very close to my heart. As you may or may not know, I'm a carrier of the BRCA2 cancer gene, so I had an elected double mastectomy 2 years ago, and I'm about to have an elected hysterectomy in a couple of months' time. So I'm really honoured to be chosen to do the running leg of the team today, and I'm team captain, and I'm running with 2 amazing cancer survivors, so it's going to be a great day.
Well, we'll see how Michelle gets on. Certainly if she can keep that energy going all the way around, she's going to do very well.
Nervous, Jen?
Yes, I'm very nervous.
So in comes Paula Reynolds, and now it is Jenny's turn. 5,000 metres, and she's got 1 or 2 athletes to chase down, but she won't catch Rob Hales and his team.
I'd love to be part of this again. It really was good. The atmosphere, the organisation has been fantastic, and well, out there on the bike, I was like a kid again.
Oh, I don't know if I've come out too fast. It's hot. It's good though.
And Jenny certainly gaining on Michelle, and very rapidly indeed. Mark Foster's had a taste of a different sport today, but his work is nearly done. And in come Matt Evers' team. They put up a really good show today.
It was absolutely incredible. So proud of these guys.
Jude, wow, what a performance. You must...
Myself, yeah, that was brilliant. I really, really enjoyed that. It was fabulous. Support's incredible, everyone cheering you on.
So Rob Hales taking the top spot, and some of them with far too much energy as they come across the finish line. And Matt Lambourne on the right of your screen, the man who did the swim for Mark Foster's team and put them in a strong position.
I've got a lot of respect for anybody and everybody that does distance events. I mean, those guys go 5Ks, a bit of a sprint. But from my world, when you do 50 metres in the water, which is 20 seconds, anything's a long way.
Michelle Heaton keeping pace with those around her. That will give her a boost. And Jenny, who's had a superb run, finishing with her 2 team members, Jade and Paula.
And to you, what a great team.
It was just really great atmosphere, and it's for a fantastic cause as well, which makes it all the worthwhile. It's just brilliant. It's been a really great day.
Yeah, it has been such a brilliant day. My only disappointment is letting Mark Foster beat me, but apart from that...
With the course going so close to Westminster, nice to see Brandon Lewis and Andrew Griffiths in a team doing the Olympic distance with Stu Hayes. And Stu Hayes, of course, Olympian from 2012.
Oh, it was brilliant, it's great fun, really good. So to have to run with an Olympian, let alone just be able to get there and enjoy the whole race. The atmosphere's great, crowds are great, it's been really good fun.
Michelle finishing with the 2 survivors of cancer that have teamed up with her.
We're going to come back again and do it next year.
It's like giving birth and you say, do you want another one? You go, no. It's kind of similar right now. Maybe ask us tomorrow.
And the Paralympic team, who have a huge collection of medals between them. Liz Johnson, Jodie Cundy, Danny Crates.
It's great fun. I mean, it's a fantastic atmosphere here. It truly is. I mean, it's my first triathlon and you can see why people love it.
Yeah, it was good fun. I was trying to just find in the zone. I think the hardest bit was running out with my bike and running back with my bike.
I just kept looking up and trying to aim for the next person. So it gave me a target the whole way around, and I think that took us all to a better time.
The elites still to race here in London, but already we've seen some well-earned medals.
Well done. Thank you. Oh, mwah. There's more from the London Triathlon after I've had a break and after you've had one. Welcome back to the London Triathlon, where 13,000 people are storming the streets and making a party of it.
And for every competitor, there are 2, 3, 4 spectators, so a fantastic atmosphere being built for these 2 days of triathlon competition. And of course, the elite race is the one that so many of the fans are looking forward to. There are plenty of others who have come with their own agenda. Some first-timers, some who have all the gadgets required to produce a quick time, or at least they don't have any excuses for not producing a quick time. And of course, Jason Bradbury of the Gadget Show is one of those, and in good shape.
See you later.
The swim completed, and now off on the bike. Now, most of the celebs going for the shorter sprint course. He has opted for the full Olympic distance. 1,500 metres of swimming, 40 kilometres on the bike, and they finish it off with a 10-kilometre run. Those on the eye are going to get a splendid view of the city, and those racing the course are going to see all the iconic sights.
Well, it was worth it for Big Ben. Wow. I mean, when you get the road to yourself in this city, it's incredible.
So Jason on his own on the course, but his 2 brothers racing just as they were up in Blenheim earlier on in the season. Richard ahead of Simon at the moment. So once the bike is finished, they head out on the run. And Jason's certainly soaking up the atmosphere here in London, enjoying every single stride. 10,000 metres of running to finish it off on the Olympic course. And Jason into the finish. That's a really good performance from him. 2:42.19, a respectable time. And the first of the brothers in, Richard coming through, 2:55.16. And Simon bringing up the rear, but another great effort.
The running at the end, the 10K at the end, is so tough when you've done all that. But with the crowd behind you, you just can't fail to do it. You know, you wouldn't dream of bailing on it because it's just, you know, you feel so up when you're doing it. It's great.
Well, Jason and Richard, we know we're going to see you again. Simon, the big question is, and Jason said you're not going to do another one after this, but is that really true?
Well, they say never say never, so we'll have to see.
Come on,
cheeky little minx.
That's what I like to hear.
The old boy is there.
For many people, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, but for these elites, it's their bread and butter. London is one of the biggest races in the calendar, and it always brings some really big names to the start line.
It certainly does, and this year is no different. Emma Pallant, the hot favourite, having won in Blenheim and winning in Windsor as well. The former track runner, relatively new to the sport, but going incredibly well.
Well, it doesn't feel like 2 years. It's gone so quick, and yeah, it's really nice to actually come from sort of an unknown, work my way up, and now be, like you say, maybe one of the favourites.
Well, there's no doubt that Emma Pallant is going to be hard to beat, but her main rival today, Kate Roberts of South Africa, silver medal in the Commonwealth Games just 10 days ago in the team event with Gillian Sanders.
It's been a wonderful week, and Yeah, I just decided to come race the London Triathlon. You know, I was in the UK for this week, and you know, it's just London Triathlon's just an amazing race. And you know, I mean, while I'm still on the high of Commonwealth Games, just come and do this race, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Well, there are the elite women lined up ready to go. 1,500 metres of swimming, and it's a slightly unique swim course with a long, long leg to start with. The bike at 40 kilometres and the run 10k. Very flat, so we should see some fast times, but getting a good position out of the swim, absolutely vital. Kimberly Bell is the outstanding swimmer in this group, a former national swimmer, and Lucy Smith also falls into that category. Well, 3 leaders at the moment as they work their way upstream. And as I mentioned, a long, long swim to the first buoy. Now, normally the field sort themselves out as they go around the buoys. But this is going to be hard. Vitally important not to lose contact with the leaders. Hannah Druitt's another really excellent swimmer. It'll be interesting to see how she goes today. Needs to be in the first group.
Most races might be like 300 metres to the first buoy, and this one's a lot more enduring. So yeah, nice and fast start and sort of get my position and then see where I am and then attack around the first buoy.
Well, Hannah Druitt's right up the front of the field, but it's Kimberly Bell who leads with a margin of some 15-20 metres already. She really is turning it on. But the swimming, very much her trump card in this game of triathlon, and so she needs as much of a lead as possible. But even if she's a minute clear, she won't be able to survive the bike ride on her own, so really could do with just settling down. Here we go with the chase group. Emma Pallant is in there. They're now 1:03 off the pace of Kimberly Bell, which is a massive margin. India Lee's in there. Lucy Nell is there as well. Kimberly Preston in that group as well. So lots of developments in the swim. Kimberly Bell on her own, as you can see, coming in towards T1. That's a superb swim. Absolutely brilliant. Slightly surprised that no one else managed to hold on to her feet, but that's a mark of just how good Bell is in the water. Can she keep it going today? I think she'll just enjoy the transition, take it easy, because there's no point going out on your own on the bike ride for 40 kilometres. Now the chase group coming out of the water. Hannah Druitt as expected. In fact, we've got the 3 Hannahs, Druitt, Kitchen, Johnson, all there. Katie Singh is there as well. Lucy Smith from Southwell going well. Zoe Thomas at the back of that group, and they are just 38 seconds off Kimberly Bell, so I suspect that they will form the leading group when they all get out on the bike. 38 seconds through transition sounds a lot, but this is one of the longest transitions in the game. It will take well over 2 minutes to complete, and therefore the runners get just that little bit of an advantage, and Emma Pallant falls into that category. Now here we go with India Lee and Kimberly Preston. Emma Pallant at the back of that group. Now, just having a look at the times, they're 1:54 off the pace set by Kimberly Bell. That was an extraordinary swim from her. They're 1:20 behind the group containing Hannah Druitt, Hannah Kitchen, Katie Singh, Lucy Smith. And Kate Roberts is in there for South Africa. Now, they should be some 900 metres down the road before Pallant even gets on a bike. There's Kate Roberts. Nice and smooth, no panic, good transition from her. And Kimberly Bell, the first out of the water, being caught by those other 5 athletes, including Druitt and Roberts. Now, the question is, will these 6 riders work together and try to extend that lead over Emma Pallant? It was 1:20. I suspect it's going to be less because Pallant has really pushed the pace in transition. But if these 6 can work together and they can maintain a lead of a minute, or even build it to a minute and a half, they might have a chance of holding off Pallant on the final phase. Through T1 for Pallant, that's a nice move from her. Very, very good. The best transition we've seen all season. And away we go. Certainly a whole lot easier without the wetsuit. The lead group of 6, as you can see. Singh is there. That's Kate Roberts of South Africa just taking the lead in the green. Number 25 is Singh, and she's looking pretty solid. started her career as a modern pentathlete. Bell in 5th place at the moment, having had a really good swim. And Druitt and that group of 6 disappearing down into Limehouse Tunnel. No, it's not unusual for them to set off the speed cameras because of the pace they're setting. They'll be averaging around 42 kilometres an hour for this whole bike ride. The swim, incidentally, taking roughly 1 minute 20 per 100 metres. Well, there's a nice shot of Kate Roberts' bike. And you can see Druitt and Singh just ahead, so Roberts quite happy to sit back. She's not offered a lot of work so far. Here are the chase group who are having to work. They know they've got to make contact, and they've got to make contact fairly quickly so they get time to recover. Pallant at the back of that group of 3, number 19, that's Lucy Nell going well. And number 13 on the far side, India Lee. Well, making a little break from the lead group, it's Katie Singh who realises the danger of that chase group, and if she wants to win this one, she's got to be at least a minute clear of Pallant at the start of the run, but she needs some help. As the women pass Tower Bridge, the men, the elite men, getting ready for their swim. Over 20 degrees the water temperature, and therefore a non-wetsuit swim, which really favours those who have a swimming background. Now, both Bishop brothers racing today. David, who's had a very good season, and Tom, who's been out of action with injury problems. It's good to see him back.
I'm quite nervous because this is my first race in about 3 months or so. I mean, I got injured in May time. I got a stress fracture in my foot, and it's healed now. And I'm just, I'm excited to be back racing. But obviously, I've got these pre-race nerves, so I'm not used to all this stuff. But yeah, I'm excited to go.
So moments before the start, most of the athletes favouring the centre of the field, 1 or 2 on this left-hand side. And Beau Smith is the outstanding swimmer, I think, in this group. He's had some excellent swims already this season, generally first out of the water. Question is, who will get on his feet and who will be dragged to a good time in this first 1,500 metres? Now, as well as Beau Smith, we're expecting to see Buckingham and Graves. Thorley, I think, should be in that group, and the 2 Bishop brothers shouldn't have any problem staying with the pace. Iestyn Harriott in there as well. He's one of the exciting prospects for years to come, a man from South Wales.
A strong swim is needed, like most races, but transition is huge, so that's going to be pretty crucial to get up and get out really quick. And then we've got a couple of really strong bikers in the race, like Phil Graves and Tom Bishop. So I think the race will be on from the start.
Well, that certainly looks the way at the moment. Fairly well grouped, no one's broken away. There'll be a good competition between Mark Buckingham and David Bishop. They're the 2 leaders in the British Triathlon Super Series at the moment. And if Buckingham wins today, then he will take the title for 2014. So Bishop has work to do, because Mark Buckingham is on form and he's come from a win in Banyoles just recently.
I guess being the favourite means that you've done something good, but you know, you've got to earn respect, so it's a tough course at London, and there'll be some tough guys here, so I'm hoping to do well.
Well, not a bad start from Buckingham, but he's trailing the 2 Bishop brothers by 7-8 seconds at the moment. Now, if he can keep that margin, he should be in a fairly strong position. The man who trains up in Leeds, gets lots of tips from the Brownlee brothers.
People like me who are not as good at swimming, I can make up time in transition because it's nearly 2 minutes long. You know, some races we do, it's 15 seconds, so 2 minutes is a lot of time.
Still very, very competitive at the front of the field. Just stringing out a little as they go round the buoy. Tom Bishop setting the pace at the moment. Beau Smith in 3rd place. And I think we've got Phil Graves in there as well. Just see his arms coming over in characteristic style. Well, Tom Bishop really pushing the pace hard in this first phase. Well, I wonder how much swimming he's been able to do with the injury. Certainly the foot won't have affected the swim, it won't have affected the bike too much, but it's the run that is crucial. And I don't think Tom Bishop's going to enjoy the transition. A long run on concrete in bare feet, that really is going to put his stress fracture to the test. So Tom Bishop first up the ramp, and this is going to be a testing moment for him. Iestyn Harratt, powerful figure, good rugby player as well as triathlete. Phil Graves going through, followed shortly by David Bishop. There's Aaron O'Brien in the bright green suit for Ireland. And Mark Buckingham setting a stiff pace out of the water, trying to make up a few seconds. Only 10 seconds down on the swim. I think Buckingham will be happy with that. The race going to plan so far for the race favourite. So into T1, Harratt leading the way. Buckingham has made up a bundle of time. That's 10 seconds quicker than anyone else into the transition area. Superb work from Buckingham. Harratt, really the important thing here is not to get out first, but to get out in the first group. So you've got someone to work with. Tom Bishop going well. He still doesn't look happy on that foot. Buckingham, good mounting of the bike. No time lost there. And away the leaders go. Well, 2 up front, but they've got 5 or 6 athletes behind them, and then further back we have the second chase group. Everest, John, Gaskell. I'm afraid these guys have missed the boat because we've got some very, very strong cyclists up front, and Tom Bishop just doing his turn at the front. He wants to keep the pace going. He may well have been injured, but he's flying on the bike, as his brother well knows.
I don't think it's Phil you need to be worried about. It's my brother. I've been riding with him in Bagnoles, and since he's been injured, he's been doing a lot of riding, and I tell you, he's strong. So it's either Tom and Phil. If they two can get together, then it's going to be if you're not on their wheel, then you're out of the race pretty much.
That may well turn out to be the way. Phil Graves on the right of your screen, just trying to sort out this group of cyclists, get them working together, take advantage of the lead that they have over the second group. And so far so good. The pace is very impressive, well over 44 kilometers an hour. One of the fastest sections of the course as they go down into Limehouse Tunnel, but what goes down must go up again. Now from the men's race, where the leading group have just about got things sorted, to the women's race, where no one seems prepared to do the work. Smith, Roberts, Druitt, Singh, all in that group. And they're leaving the leader at the front for a long, long time. Lucy Smith's done a long spell. And if they want to stay ahead of that chasing group, who are closing very rapidly, now we should be able to see the chasers in the background, the group that contains Emma Pallant, who is the danger woman, and she's now, what, 15 seconds behind at most, having started the bike ride 1 minute 20 off the pace of the leaders. Well, this leading group only have themselves to blame, and look at that, Emma Pallant is up with the leaders. Kate Roberts won't be too happy to see that. In the men's race, Tom Bishop pushing hard, he's got himself a little bit of space. Phil Graves there, wearing 43. Powerful, powerful rider. Round the dead turn. Nice technique from Tom Bishop, followed closely by Phil Graves. Wade is there, this is the bike of Iestyn Harratt, the Welshman. Having a good early phase to his triathlon career. And Tom Bishop just rehydrating now. I wonder how his foot is going to hold up. Mark Buckingham and Phil Graves together, and they go past Tom Bishop without any trouble at all. The pace has changed, and it's Phil Graves who's doing the donkey work up front. Mark Buckingham will be delighted to be on the back wheel. He's getting a free ride to a good position in T2. Well, it's early days, they still haven't done the first 20 kilometres, but will Buckingham and Graves be able to hang on? It's a really ambitious break here at the London Triathlon.
Hello from the London Triathlon. Now, so far we've seen thousands take on the world's biggest swim, bike, run challenge here in the capital. PBs have been broken, millions of pounds have been raised for charity. The Gadget Man's gone the distance, and I've even been for a little run myself. But we haven't seen which of the elites are going to be crowned champion. Their race is currently in progress, so let's get back out on the course and see how they're getting on.
We pick it up with the women, and Katie Singh doing her turn at the front. She's got Lucy Smith in that group with her as well. But the news is that Emma Pallant and the Chase group have caught that leading group of 6. And so we now have 12 riders going side by side as they approach T2 and the crucial final running phase. Kate Roberts nicely off the bike. Now she's still on a high, having taken the silver medal in the Commonwealth Games in the relay event. Schoeman, Murray, Sanders, it was a very strong team, beaten only by the English. Now, will it be South Africa or England who come out on top? Because Emma Pallant is the danger woman. Now, she had a good T1. Pallant taking her time there in the white hat. Kate Roberts not error-free and losing some 20 metres to the race leaders. Pallant down in 5th place and already stepping on the gas. This is what she's so good at. A fast exit from T2 and already starting to close the gap on the 2 leaders, Lucy Smith and India Lee, who's another triathlete who's had injury problems of late, and moving into the lead ahead of Lucy Smith.
The start of my season was a bit delayed because I broke my wrist in March, so I had to move a few things around goals-wise, and I feel like the last few weeks I've really started to start performing in races the way I've been training, so it's good.
Just stretching those legs, and I think India Lee sensing that Emma Pallant has moved up into 2nd position. Now, she won't be able to hold off Pallant, there's no doubt about that, but if she can run at this pace, she could certainly finish in the top 2 or 3. Kate Roberts is starting to make advances as well. And so a good start on the run from India Lee, but Pallant behind her is looking for her 3rd victory out of 3 in the British Triathlon Super Series, and if she gets that, she will be crowned the champion for 2014, which was one of her aims at the beginning of this season. There's Roberts, Smith, Nell, just taking her time to get into the running. Emma Pallant, meanwhile, up front, starting to make an attack, draws up alongside India Lee, takes the inside line. It's a little bit risky, but she moves so fast, and a subtle change of pace there from Pallant. Remember, a former 1500 metre runner, switched to triathlon when she found she was suffering too many injuries from the mileage that she was putting in on the roads, and she's done exceptionally well. Swimming, certainly the discipline she needs to improve. Here's Kate Roberts. Now, she's looking strong. Had a long season. We've seen her a few times. She raced at Blenheim, got blown away by Pallant on that occasion. India Lee now some 25 metres behind Pallant, and another 25 further back we have Kate Roberts. Looks as though those 3 are going to be fighting it out for the podium positions in the early stages. The elite men, well, it's a strong group and they've been working very well together. They haven't given the 2nd Chase group any chance at all, and Tom Bishop still pumping those legs away at the front of the field. He's got his brother David alongside him. Wade has gone well. Buckingham's still in there. Phil Graves, as expected, in with that leading group. And Tom Bishop seems to be running a little bit better. Remember, he's got a stretch, or had a stress fracture in his foot. And this will be the part of the course that he enjoys the least. Barefoot on these hard floors. Now, Buckingham, a really solid runner. He's a strong athlete. Certainly he's improved massively over the last couple of seasons. David Bishop alongside him. Here's Phil Graves. Great on the bike, not quite so great on the run. Smith ahead of Buckingham, ahead of Bishop. And Tom Bishop just striding away, testing that foot out. Now, 3 months without racing. He's going to start suffering fairly soon. I think really he's using this as a training run just to see how hard he can go out at T2, but it's not hard enough. Buckingham already going straight past him, and Tom Bishop looking over his shoulder. He'll be glad to see his brother David right there. And it looks as though Tom Bishop is easing up. He is. That's enough for the day. But he's had a good swim, he's had a really good bike ride, did most of the work, and now he calls it quits in the early stages of the run, which leaves us with 2 at the front. David Bishop in second place, and Mark Buckingham setting the pace out front.
When it's quite a hot day sometimes here, it's quite sapping because you're out there for such a long time. But you know, the crowds are great around here, and the spectators just really get behind you, and it's a brilliant day.
So this is a really stiff pace being set out front, destroying the rest of the field as David Bishop pulls up alongside Buckingham, but we saw how quick Buckingham is on the downhills when he raced in Blenheim, and once again he does some damage at the bottom section. A lead of 2 or 3 metres. This could be very significant if Buckingham can capitalise. He's looking for his 2nd Super Series win of the season, and if he gets that, he is assured to be the champion for this year.
Keep going, guys, keep going, well done.
Looking very relaxed out front. Great style, everything moving in the direction of travel. Very much in contrast to the 2 Brownlee brothers. Strong legs. And David Bishop in second place, just tightening up a little in the shoulders. And as he does so, the margin between first and second is growing stride by stride. Buckingham looking very strong, continuing the form that he showed in Blenheim and Windsor, and of course recently in Bagnoles, where he got a very good win indeed. In the women's race, Kate Roberts trying to secure another podium finish, but it's Emma Pallant who's heading for the victory. Really good running from her. And what a battle between India Lee and Kate Roberts for that 2nd position. India Lee, remember, led for a while at the start of the run, but Roberts in the end too strong in the closing stages, and India Lee fighting to get on the podium. Emma Pallant as fluid as ever, lovely running style. Remember, she came from that track running background. Mark Buckingham likewise. Nowadays you have to be a good runner if you want to win a triathlon. No one's strong enough on the bike to open up enough of a margin to be able to cruise home. David Bishop, I think, will be happy with the way things have gone. And Sam Way just overtaking Beau Smith to move into 3rd position. So Beau Smith, who was one of the first men out of the water, looks as though he's going to miss the podium. Pallant, 1 turn to negotiate, and then it's down the home straight. 3 wins out of 3 in the Super Series. Excellent, excellent work. Michelle Dillon, her coach, will be delighted with the way things have gone this season. Work to do on the swim, but she is a real talent.
You were a little bit down on the swim, but how did you pull it back?
Yeah, I think like my swim, I only started this sport actually here 2 years ago. My swim is still really tough. I find had a few tips from Mark Foster yesterday. He was saying like relax the hand, but yeah, I was still a little bit down, but chased on the bike and then just felt good on the run.
And the Commonwealth Games silver medalist coming home in 2nd place, less than a minute behind Emma Pallant.
Yeah, it was just such a wonderful race, you know, it was such a great crowd, such a great atmosphere, and you know, it just gave me goosebumps when I finished. It was just wonderful, you know, just seeing these iconic buildings, and you know, it's just things that you see on TV all the time, and you know, to be part of it today, it was just something spectacular, and you know, I'll always remember this race for the rest of my life.
India Lee, over a minute behind coming out of the water. She takes 3rd.
Emma Pallant's coach was shouting at us that we were a minute down, so I knew that Emma was there, and if she could get on my wheel, we could work together. And about halfway through the first lap, we caught up the front group on the bike, and then just chill out a little bit and recover. And yeah, it was good.
So there's confirmation of the women's results. Pallant, Roberts, Lee on the podium. Lucy Nell just a little bit off the pace, a minute off 3rd place. Katie Singh, who did her fair share of the work on the bike, ahead of Lucy Smith in 6th place. In the standings, Emma Pallant 300 out of a possible 300. She is the British Triathlon Super Series champion for 2014. Mark Buckingham into the finish area, and having made a break early on in the run, he's got himself the luxury of cruising into the finish area. Mark Buckingham with his second win of the season.
Yeah, I'm really pleased that it's third time on the podium out of the 3 races, so I couldn't be more happy. I've never won a race in the capital, so yeah, really chuffed.
It looked like you were enjoying it towards the end there as well.
Oh yeah, it's brilliant. I mean, it's amazing crowds. You're racing in London, like there's no bigger event really, and yeah, it's just great. The crowds are awesome, right out to the far side of Docklands as well. It's brilliant.
Looking forward to the rest of the series. What are you hoping for?
Well, hopefully, I should have won the series now with 3 good races. So I'm really chuffed. First time winning the Super Series, so brilliant.
Brilliant. Well done. I would give you a hug, but you seem a little bit moist.
Yeah, a bit sweaty.
David Bishop, 36 seconds adrift of the race winner, and another second place.
The sun was on and the bike was on for the majority, and then it was just it's a hard run in that heat. It's a tough day today. It's incredible. Like you never get to race in anywhere like this really, and the crowds are incredible along the whole course. As you come around through the Excel building, you just get an absolute buzz from the crowd, and I was suffering towards the end. I was suffering with the heat, and every time I came through, there's a buzz, and it just pushed me on to the next lap.
Sam Wade with a 31.22 run. That's put him into 3rd place.
It's an amazing race, and I'm so pleased to get on the podium here. It's just, it's massive for me, this result, so really pleased.
So let's have a look at the results of the men's race. 1:42.11, the winning time for Mark Buckingham. David Bishop in 2nd, Sam Wade 3rd, Bo Smith ending up in 4th place, ahead of the out-and-out cyclist Philip Graves in 5th. And in the Super Series, 290 out of a possible 300 for Mark Buckingham. Just like Pallant, he has sealed the title for this year. David Bishop in 2nd. Iestyn Harritt, what a great season he's had in 3rd place. Another of the youngsters that will no doubt make advances next year. 13,000 competitors in all here in London. It's been an unbelievable weekend. The stars have been here and the masses have been here as well. Mark Foster, 5-time Olympian. Rob Hales, 3-time Olympic medalist. And Matt Evers from Dancing on Ice. And Michelle Heaton as well. What a performance from her. And Jenny Faulkner producing a very impressive 5-kilometre time. With so many thousands of competitors, an incredible atmosphere generated here in London. Another very special occasion.
Well, a fantastic battle between Emma Pallant and Kate Roberts, and also once again Mark Buckingham dominating in the men's. Congratulations to all our winners, and also to all the thousands of people who chased and achieved their own goals this weekend. It's been a great event, great atmosphere, great weather, another London Triathlon to truly remember. See you next time.